Welcome time travelers, and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning not only US history, but historical events from around the world, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1498 when Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama and his fleet reached the island of Mozambique on their first voyage to India. Moving on to 1865, when Confederate forces under General Jubilo A. Earle suffered a decisive defeat that ended Southern resistance in Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, during the American Civil War, and the Confederacy collapsed the following month. Now, in 1867, over U.S. President Johnson's veto, radical Republicans in Congress passed the Censure of Office Act, forbidding the president to remove civil officers without senatorial consent. 10 years later, in 1877, Walford B. Hayes was declared the winner of the disputed presidential election of 1876 after a special election commission awarded him all consented electoral votes. He was sworn into office the following day. We are now going to make a stop in 1900, when composer Kurt Weill, who created the revolutionary kind of opera of sharp social satire and celebration with the writer Bertolt Brecht, who was born in Germany. 4 years later, in 1904, Theodor Seuss Geisel, who under the pseudonym Dr. Seuss, who wrote and illustrated such hugely popular children's book as How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 1957 and Green Eggs and Ham in 1960, was born. And he actually was a doctor. 1917 brought us Jones-Shaffer Act that took effect, designating Puerto Rico as a territory in the United States, organized but unincorporated, and conferring U.S. citizenship collectively on Puerto Ricans. In 1930, English novelist D.H. Lawrence passed away in Venice, France. His ashes were moved in 1935 to Tasos, New Mexico, where he once lived. The following year, in 1931, Soviet official Mikhail Gorbachev, who instituted reforms that led to the end of the Cold War while serving as the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union from 1985 to 1991, and President of the Soviet Union, was born. Next stop is going to be in 1933, when the landmark monster movie King Kong had its world premiere, in addition to pioneering special effects by Willis O'Brien. It was the first significant feature film star to star an animated character. David Shatner, who was the first African-American man to serve as U.S. Surgeon General from 1998 to 2002, was born in Anston, Alabama in 1941. Now, in 1947, 2,400 Buffalo, New York school teachers ended a week-long strike after Mayor Bernard Dowd offered to provide a salary increase for the 1947-48 school year ranging from $300 to $625. The North African country of Morocco, situated directly across from the Strait of Gibraltar in Spain, or from Spain, proclaimed independence from France on this day in 1956. The Sultan Muhammad V having formed his first government. On this day in 1995, researchers at Verblub in Badava, Illinois, announced the discovery of the top quake, the sixth and most massive quark. 1995 also brought us two teams of particle physicists working independently and using different equipment at the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory in Bavita, Illinois, announced that their experiments had revealed the top quark and the last 6 quarks that are believed to be the ultimate building blocks of all matter. The findings confirmed theories postulated in the 1960s, namely that matter is made up of 2 kinds of fundamental particles: leptons, which include electrons, and 6 types of quarks. One of the teams measured the mass of the top quark at 176 GeV, I'm not sure what that is, billion electron volts. I'm again not sure what that is. The other team at 199 GeV. Again, I'm not sure what that is. In view of the margin error inherited in both measurements, scientists accepted the 2 reports as mutual confirmation. 1999 is when British singer Dusty Springfield, who made her mark during the 1960s beat boom that resulted in the British invasion, recording such hits as Son of a Preacher Man, passed away at the age of 59. 10 years later, in 2009, President João Bernardo Vieira of Guiana-Bissau was assassinated by government soldiers following years of unrest between Vieira and the military. And with that, we return to 2024 and our current history. Until next time.